If you have lived in Washington for a few years, you know about the exorcist steps. And when William Friedkin died a few weeks ago, you thought of them again. The quintessential Catholic Georgetown film. Put each of us in touch with long forgotten memories, and especially as students are now returning to campus. We had thought it was a long ago curiosity of Catholicism, but were surprised and even embarrassed to learn there were and are still official exorcists, priests trained in the new rite. And when the Gospels confront us with a portrait of Jesus himself as an exorcist, we often don't know what to make of it all. It might be helpful to know that exorcism, the evicting of demons from a possessed person, existed also in Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam, and Judaism in the ancient world. Yet Jesus is different. Exorcism in Jesus' time relied on magical rites. Whatever we believe nowadays about demons or possession, what is indisputable is that Jesus healed people who appeared to those who saw them to be possessed. He did not use the magical rites with which his contemporaries were familiar. Unlike the magical rites of ancient exorcists, Jesus healed by his own power and authority, the very power and authority of God. This was clear to witnesses and caused amazement. A few things are notable about Jesus' healing ministry. He healed whoever, wherever, and whenever there was a need. Several stories have him healing on the Sabbath and provoking both wonder and anger. As we know from his gospel and from the book of Acts, Luke favored cities: Bethlehem, Nazareth, Capharnaum, Jerusalem. He also has Paul going from one city to another: Damascus, Antioch, Jerusalem, Athens, Rome, and more. If you have ever been to Capharnaum, you will remember the simple sign on the gate to the city: the town of Jesus. What is important about Capharnaum in this passage is that Jesus heals in the synagogue on the Sabbath, in the presence of all, many of whom surely knew him, a public act in a public space. This is followed by the healing of Simon's mother-in-law, a private act in a private space. Luke tells us the person healed in the synagogue was a man. Simon's mother-in-law, clearly a woman. Jesus is not confined by time or place or gender. As we know from other passages, he healed Jews and Gentiles alike. Nor could his healing power be contained by the Sabbath. And at sunset, when the Sabbath was over, they kept coming to him. When our prayerful imaginations take us to the scene by the lake as the sun is setting, we are overwhelmed by such a loving power and authority. He offers us the same healing today. Because we are baptized priests, prophets, and rulers, we are called to be healers, each in our own way. Our presence, infused with the love of Jesus, can be a healing presence. Are you the peacemaker on the playground or in the office? The one who offers a healing smile to a homeless person or refugee? Are you the one who reaches out, whether to a stranger or a friend? Your healing presence, like Jesus, not confined by time or space or gender. Are you willing to take the risk to heal in love as Jesus did? As Paul tells us, we are, quote, children of light and children of the day. And so we are called to be his healing presence in our sorrowing world.